Hey participants, we'll start exactly in 7 minutes. So we are just waiting for a few more people to come. Then we'll start exactly at 5, okay? Guys, if you guys can, turn on your laptops and connect it to a stable internet connection, it'll be good because this will be a hands-on session. So just connect your laptops to internet connections and be ready. So it's 5 and I think we are good to go. So one last time, till I finish the introduction, guys, please turn on your laptops and connect it to a stable internet connection, because this whole session will be a hands-on session, and you learn a lot of new things. So please connect it to a stable internet connection. Take a minute or two and do it. Okay. So I guess we can begin. So good evening, teaching, non-teaching staff, and my participants. I am Akash Uday Hulekal. I am the Microsoft Ambassador for BIT, and I'm also the Web Service Director for the Rotaract Club of BIT. I'd like to thank all the members of Rotaract, all the core members of Rotaract who are here today and will moderate the event. And I also like to thank the Microsoft Student Ambassador community for giving me this opportunity. So I have another screen right on top over here. I will be using that to refer a lot of things, because see, I don't want to miss any important concepts over here, because whatever I'm teaching, especially for the CS and IS students or any other students from any other branch who want to go to the technical side, it'll be very helpful for you guys, and it's just the basics. So please make sure you attend the whole event, okay? And also certificates will be given at the end of the event, okay? Like I'll just give you a form at the end of the event, a feedback form. If you fill it, you'll get the certificates. I'll try to go as slow as possible, but if you guys have any doubts, can leave it in the chat. I'll be constantly monitoring the chat. So if any doubts are there, just put it there. Okay. So, and one last thing. I will be giving out some digital swags, 5 of them actually. So at the end, I'll give you a small assignment. Okay, it's not compulsory or anything, but if you do it, you'll might and it's good. You might get some digital swags, which are actually very nice. So I guess we'll get started. I'll tell you what and all is the agenda or what we'll be doing today. But before that, I want you guys to just follow what I do. Okay, so first, go to your web browser. It might be anything. Just go to your web browser. I'm assuming my screen is visible to all of you. Okay, so I want you guys to type Visual Studio Code, okay? Visual Studio Code, okay? Not Visual Studio. Again, let me repeat. Visual Studio Code, okay? See, it look like this. Again, I'm telling this again and again because there's a difference between those both, Visual Studio and Visual Studio Code, and I will be explaining the difference in some time, okay? So press on download and see which is your operating system. Based on that, you can download it. Okay, mine is Windows, so I'll just download it for Windows. Fine. It'll take some time to download. Till then, guys, I have also prepared a PPT to just take you through, what will we be doing today and all that. I will try to stick to the PPT as less as possible, but there are some very important concepts. So we will be doing a bit of PPTs, but mostly will be hands-on coding. So guys, um, just do it along with me. And if you're stuck anywhere, you can put it in the chat, of course, or else I will also be posting this video in the group. I have made a group, right? So I'll be posting the video there. So you guys can refer that in the future. Okay. So, oh yeah, one more thing. In case of a power failure, because it's raining in Bangalore, I will come back in a minute or two. Just don't leave the meeting. Okay. So yeah. So today's webinar is divided into 4 sessions. Let me just get it on. Yeah, so firstly, we'll be downloading VS Code. I just showed you guys just now, right? Like, to download from Chrome. So first we'll download it, some useful extension shortcuts, and we'll make a very basic app using HTML, CSS. Okay, now here's the thing. This webinar is all about learning VS Code, Git, and GitHub. So the HTML and CSS part will be very less, like very, very less. But by the end, you'll know how to make a static website and one-page static website and deploy it, okay, on GitHub pages so that you can share the link with your friends, etc. Secondly, GitHub, learn what is GitHub, login, and I'll tell you what is GitHub student benefits. There are a lot of free benefits you can get just by showing by sending a screenshot of your admission ticket, admission form. And third thing we'll be learning is Git and its commands. So Git will be very useful during collaboration and I will tell you about it in some time. Here I'll be referring to something called as repositories. Okay, so those are nothing but files. So just don't mind about that. And finally, use VS Code to deploy the code or to GitHub using Git. All that and all I'll be explaining. Now, this is one of the very basic things, when you're going to become a developer or anything like that. So, guys, please learn this. Okay, it'll be very helpful for you in the future. And lastly, some debugging tips using Stack Overflow, some free courses, and some technical clubs in BIT. I'll be telling all about that. But for now, quickly, what is VS Code? VS Code, open source text editor, Microsoft, supports a wide range of languages, features such as Git integration, etc. And yeah, so now I guess the download must be completed over here. Yeah, I see the download over here. So you guys have to, double click. I'll be going very slow from now till the download process over. Okay. So now you have to press I accept the agreement. Okay. Now all you have to do is press next, next, next. I want a desktop icon. Okay. So it's your preference, but I want a desktop icon. So I'll be pressing this. And finally, next, next. So this will take some time to, install. No problem. We'll just wait for this to install and we'll start. So guys, if you run into any errors while downloading it, please try to, debugging it using Google or something, because you should generally not run into any errors like till now what I have taught you guys should generally not run into any errors. But if you're running any errors, just put in a chat box and someone will help you. Just put in a chat box. Yeah, and one more thing, guys. In the chat box, you can see a drive link. Okay. Okay, I'll just explain everything over here. In the chat box, you can see the drive link, right? Just press on the link. Those are all the notes for today's session, notes, important links, etc. So please make sure to check that out because we'll be referring that a lot throughout the session. So make sure to check it out. Okay, so now when you open VS Code, your page might not look like this. It'll look like this if I'm not wrong. Hold up. So you just get this. Yeah, so basically I think your page will look like this and mostly it'll be like a light mode. It'll not be in the dark mode. So this is happening because I had already logged in through GitHub some time back and had saved all my settings. So that's the reason. So I'll explain everything over here, except you might not be able to see this Azure and this code time extension because you are not downloaded it, of course, but there are some things like in these two extensions that the data will not be saved. So that's the reason I didn't go to uninstall it again. Okay. So anyway, from scratch, we'll start. Okay. So first, I want you guys to go to settings over here. Firstly, we'll configure the settings. Settings over here, manage or settings. Okay. Next thing I want you guys to do is go to one second. Color theme over here. Control K, of course, the shortcut, or else you can go to color theme and set your color theme. Like mine is dark plus, you can just set it to light plus or anything. But this is a strain to the eyes, so I'll just go with dark plus. There are a lot of themes over there. Check it out, select what is comfortable for your eyes. Okay. And now let me explain what are these. Firstly, Explorer. So you might not see this again. Let me just open a new window. Guys, you guys have to not do this. I'll just open a new window and show. Yeah, so. hmm. So you might see it like this. Okay. So you might see the Explorer here. Here is actually where all your files, all your coding files, etc. will be seen once you create one. Okay. Secondly, this search and replace. Search and replace, I'll come back to this later. I'll explain what is it. Thirdly, extensions. Now, this is a very important thing. So pay close attention to what extensions I install and install it along with me. Okay. So extensions over here, see this 4 block one. So I'm assuming most of you guys have already reached here without any much difficulty, but if your internet connection a bit slow, you might have, not reached here still, and you might just be opening VS Code. So let me just, it's not much. Let me just do it from the start, okay? Like quickly do it from the start. So all you have to do is just search if you want Visual Studio Code, or yeah, here, just search for it, open it, and you get this kind of a structure over here. You might not get these two icons, but you get this kind of a structure over here. Uh, all I did is went to settings and change the color theme over here. That's all. Okay, nothing else. Okay, now an Explorer I have explained. Now, guys, go to extensions over here. See the folder button. Now I want you guys to download these four important extensions. Okay, so first, let's start with Live Share. Live Live Share. Yeah, okay. It's by Microsoft. Press on install over here, install. So what Live Share, what is the advantage of this extension is, in case you want to, collaborate with your friends, or, you have a error in your code and you want to invite your friends to come along and check it out. You can, of course, you can do it by other ways like, posting it on GitHub, etc. But if you want to have a live coding session, you can share your screen, like, they can edit over there. Okay. So this is a very useful extension. So Live Share. Next extension is Live Server. Over here on top, Live Share, Live Server. Okay, Live Server. It should look like this. Press on install. Now, generally, VS Code will not ask you to reboot the page. I mean, reload the page. But if that gives you a prompt, please do restart VS Studio, VS Code once. Okay. So yeah, I think we must be good for now. Yeah. So it has been installed, everything has been done. So I'll explain what is live server does in just a second. Now, I want you guys to come here on your desktop and create a new file. Just right click, new, and folder. Okay. I want you to name any name. You can give it any name, but I'll name it as webinar. Okay. And in this, open the file. And I want you guys to make another file in this and name it as part 1, because we will be doing 2 parts over here, and the second part will be deploying it on GitHub pages. So make a file called part 1. So that's all. You guys must be sorted. And of course, there's nothing in this. Now come back to VS, go to file over here, go to file. Okay. Open folder. You see this open folder, file, open folder. Desktop, of course, now you should choose the path where it's located. It's in desktop, right? I just create a file in desktop. So go to desktop, search for it. Webinar. Okay. Open it. Part 1. Fine. Select folder. So now what has happened is we are in that folder. We had made a folder called path 1, right? We are in this folder. And how to check if you are in this folder? Of course, you can see that it's written path 1 and all. And there's one more way. Now I want you guys to teach you some shortcuts. For that, first we'll create a file. Okay. New file over here, the plus button with the file, not the folder one, a new file. And name it index.html. Perfect. Now you have created a index file, index.html file. Okay. Now, as you see, if you go back to part 1 over there, you can see that this has been reflected and you have created a new file over here. Okay. So now let me add a boiler template. You can do this by giving shift plus exclamatory mark or shift plus num key. So exclamatory mark, you can see the description of all this to the right of the screen. Enter. Perfect. Uh, yeah. So now, let me explain what boiler template means. Boilerplate or boiler template, anything. So, boiler template is just a pre-written piece of code that, Visual Studio provides. Now, whenever you are starting a HTML page or a HTML document, this is necessary. Like all these lines over here will be necessary. So in case of typing it one by one, VS Studio has given you the feature of, doing it all at once. Like, doing it all at once as in giving you a template of the basic code. So let me just explain what this each line means and I'll go forward. So Dr. HTML, it just means that this is HTML. Second thing, okay, yeah. So next one is head. Head, all the contents are stored inside the head, like all the data, like all your tags, etc., will be inside a head, like meta tags, links, etc. And this is a very interesting tag over here, like this meta tag UTF-8. What this means that UTF-8 is kind of a encoding, okay? So whenever your laptop or your computer tries to read a file like your Word and you try to read a file, it'll be encoded. Okay, it can be UTF-8, UTF-16, etc. So what happens is you might have noticed in the olden days, like you just take some years back and you open a Word document and it all looks square, 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 square. It's English, but when you get it on your local drive, it looks square, square, square kind of characters. That's because you chose the wrong encoding. Because in the olden days, like by olden days, I mean like 110 years back, 115 years back, they used to have different encoding. Now it's UTF-8 or UTF-16, but they used to have different kind of encodings. And that's the reason, it could not recognize it and used to give the square, square unknown characters. Fine. But now it's UTF-8, so yeah, that's not a problem. Now, title. Now, HTML. This is a very basic concept, HTML, and there are two things this is a thing you guys must remember: opening tag and closing tag. Okay, opening tag you might have seen greater than and equal to sign, and then you can see that there is a tag inside this. Okay, and closing tag you can see a slash or backslash. Yeah, so that's this is opening tag and this is a closing tag. Fine. How do you identify these opening and closing tag? Or closing tag has a slash. So every tag that must is open. Like example for, let me just give you an example. Let me just delete this. Every tag that's opened, like the title tag, it must have a closing tag or else it'll not work. You might see that there are no errors, like VS will not throw you any error, but while you're deploying it, no, you surely will notice the error. So there's opening tag and closing tag. Fine. Now let's put something inside this title. So between the opening and closing tag, you can put anything like a text. For example, I'll put this as my first website. Fine. Okay, now I'll save this. How do I save this? Control S. Control S is a shortcut, or you can go to File and press Save. But in the long run, it's very inefficient. So best is just use Control plus S. Control plus S. So as soon as you press Save, you can see the white circle from the top has gone. Let's do this again. See, you can see the white circle. Save it. It has gone. So that means you have saved the file. Okay. Now, I made you guys download an extension called as live server, and then yeah, live server. So let me explain what does live server do. Now you have created a HTML document. Okay, now you have to display it, right? Like you have to see what's the output on your web page, on your web browser, right? So what live server does, it creates a local host. It creates a local host so that you can view your page. And how do you do that? You right click, on the document, and then you go down. You can see this button called open with live server. Now, in case this button has, you can't see this option over here, what you guys can do is close your VS Studio and just restart it again. Just you will see this once you do that. Okay. Now open with live server. Now you see a page has been made, or like, I mean, a page, this page, my HTML page has been hosted. And you can see the title, because my first website, you see title, my first website, it has been displayed over here. So now why don't we type anything inside the body, like hi, my name is Akash. See it now. See, as soon as I my name is AKA Now, as soon as I put my this text called as my name is Akash, I did press Control Save. Okay, whenever you save, it'll dynamically appear over here on your web browser. So whenever you do something, just press Control S, and it must appear on your browser. You can see that my spelling has been corrected over here. So that's how we will be approaching from now. And there are some important shortcuts I want to show you guys before we proceed. Okay. Firstly, control plus tilde, control plus tilde. What it does is it gets a terminal, and we will be using the terminal a lot today. Okay, so it's control key plus tilde. Fine. And there is one more important thing I want to show you guys is go back here to settings, command palette, or it's control shift P. Okay. Okay, I'll do it again. Till now I think we are all done till now. Settings, command palette. Okay. Now here's the thing. I recently used this. It's called as toggle word wrap. And I'll explain what it does also. Now imagine you are writing a long text over here, long piece of code, and you just go on, you just go on, you just go on. Now see, it keeps going. Okay. Now here's the problem. Now in case you want to find an error or something, it'll become very hard. So you know what? You want to take this to a different line, right? So VS Code can do it for you. How do you do it is settings as usual, command palette, search for toggle word wrap, or which came here. So this right, press on it. Now you see this has been arranged properly. See, it's not like, going out of the page. And even if you want to go, if it tries to go out of the line or it tries to break, it'll just break into a new line. Okay. So till now, then I think we are good to go. Now, here's the thing. Imagine you don't have any sample text. Imagine you are making a website for a client and you have nothing, like you have no data, but you just want to check, if the container fits, etc. All that. There's a feature provided by LiveShare. Just now what we downloaded the extension, right? There's a feature provided by LiveShare, and that function is called lorem. Okay, LOREM, lorem, and put the number of words you want to display. Like I want 40 words, for example. You can put X number of words, like lorem 40, enter. Now you see 40 random words have come. Now you can do this with as much amount of words you want. I guess the limit is 1000 if I'm not wrong. But see, you can get this random words. So you can use this as a sample data. So let me just save this and try Control S. Okay. See, this has been reflected on your web page. Okay. Now, as I said, this course is, or this webinar is mostly based on VS Code, Git, and GitHub. So I will not be going much in depth about HTML, okay? Because I will be providing some links. You guys might have seen a PDF which we have shared in the chat. Just make sure to check it out right now because there are some, or at least download it because there are some very important links over here which I have sent, which will be very helpful for you even in the future. And this, especially once I start Git and GitHub, IS and CS students, especially, or if you're going to a technical sector, please pay attention. Okay. Okay. So now till here, everything is done. It's easy. No worries. I'm pretty sure you might have not had any problems. If you have any doubts at all, put it in the chat box. I'll just reply to it ASAP. Okay. Okay. So now we are done with this. Now we can actually add a legit picture and a legit text. So what we'll start by doing is there are two tags I wanted to talk to you guys about. First one is a H1 tag or H tag. See, you can see the six tags over here. Heading, a heading tag over here. There's six tags. It goes from the largest to the smallest. Okay, it's preferred to have only one H1 tag in the whole page, and then you can have X number of the other tags. So we'll go with H1. Fine. You guys might have noticed I just didn't even write the whole thing. All I did was write H, and that's all. VS Code will autofill it for you. So you can just use arrows. Avoid using the mouse. Just go down, select whichever you want, H1, H2, H2, H3, press enter. Okay, you got an opening and closing tag. Now let's put something. I study at PIT. Fine. See, you can see it's big, larger, and it has come as a heading over here. Okay, so in case you want to make it bold, you can just use the bold tag, of course. Replace this and this ending by B. Now here's the thing, the starting and the closing tags must be same. If it's bold, it must be bold. If that's a header tag, it must be a heading tag. I study at BID. Now you can see that it's bold, size has not increased. It's perfect. Now here's one more thing. You guys can wrap one tag inside another. Like, like here, body. For example, we are wrapped the bold tag inside the body. Like that, you can wrap X number of tags inside one another. How do we do that? Is example, I want to get this whole sentence in the center of the page because it's looking very bad over here. So all I have to do is I'll use a center tag. Okay, it's called center tag. Now I have to put the whole thing inside the center tag. Okay, save it. It's at the center of the page now. Now, guys, you can wrap as much tags as you want inside. Okay, but just remember the hierarchy of how you'll do it. Fine. Like example, now I have enclosed this whole thing bold inside a center tag for it to be it in the center. Okay. Now, what we'll do next is add an image. IMG. Okay, that's the tag. Now we'll ask you for two params. First is the source. Source means like what image should you put? And second is the alt. Now here's the thing, guys. Many might actually face these problems in the future with SEO or engine optimization. When you want Google to display your website on their Google search page, you should have your website search optimized. Like, it should not have errors and all that and all. So here's the thing. When you apply for search optimization, they always recommend you to put something in the place of alt. Alt is generally triggered when your image does not load because of some reason. So I'll just put this as picture. .jpg, fine, whatever. So you can put anything over here, but it's recommended to put something at least over here. Now image src. I'll be getting the image from the internet for now. Okay, so let me just search for images. Free images online. Go to images. And now let's take one of these images, okay, from the net. Now here's the thing. I'll just select this image, open image in new tab. And this image looks nice. We can take this. I'll just copy the link. Okay, I've just done is search for image and copy the link of the image. Fine. I can paste it here. Save it. See, the image has been reflected on your web page. Okay, now here is a small fact I want to tell you guys about. Now, all these images over here, like example, let's try this. Open image in new tab. Okay, when this came, let's try this. Open image in new tab. Yeah, so you might have noticed in some of the images when you search online, you get something like this. This is not a link because there's no www in that, and it's not a link. You guys might have realized, and you can't even copy the image. So what is this? So basically what it means is, see, just notice the first few words here. Data image, JPEG base64. So what few people do is they store the images inside a database. Like okay, fine. Many people do is store the images inside a database. Fine. So what happens is sometimes when they're storing it inside the database, they convert it to a string because most of the databases you can't actually store an image. You have to host it, but you can't store it. So what these people do is convert it into a string, like a base64 string, and store it in a database. And when you'll be getting the image back, the web browser will recognize it as a base64 image and render it. So this is the thing. That's the reason, even if you copy this and put it in the place of the source, the image will not appear on the screen. Fine. So search for images with a proper link, like www.x something.com and xyz.com. Then yeah. So for now, till now, let me just close all this. So you can see we have got a text and an image. Fine. You can, okay, I want to make the image a bit smaller. So I can add one more parameter called width. Fine. And make it, let's make it 100 pixel. Now see, the image has become small. So like that, you can, increase it, make it 500 to make it large, etc. Fine. For now, I guess this, if you're just new to HTML, CSS, this already must be overwhelming. But guys, this is very simple and it'll not take a lot of time to understand all this. Okay, so I will be sharing some links. You can refer some YouTube channels, and you guys can learn. Eventually, you can learn and make beautiful websites. I will not be teaching CSS like in this webinar because CSS, there are some very important concepts such as flexbox and animations, which, it's better you learn it from a professional. And also it takes a lot of time. Okay. It takes a lot of time to learn CSS, at least some 6-7 hours minimum. And there is one more thing I want to show you guys, a shortcut. Now imagine I want this below this. Okay. Like below after image, I want this. Of course, I can just do like this, copy, copy or cut and paste it over here, right? But now there is a better way to do this in VS thanks to their shortcuts. All you got to do is select it, select the whole line, Control Alt, press Alt, arrow keys. See, you can take it as wherever you want. All I did is select the line, Alt plus arrow keys, Alt plus arrow keys. Fine. And you see, it has come down over here. Now, why don't we just center the image as well? I wanted to explain to you guys about div and span and what are the differences. I'll just give a very brief example of that. Div is basically, okay, why don't I just demonstrate it? Fine. I'll just remove the center tag from here for now. Now, till now, I think I must be clear by now. There must be no problems whatsoever. So I'll be adding one more tag called the div tag. Okay. So what is div? So div wraps all the tags, whatever tags I put, all the tags, and makes it a block element. Okay. What is block element? It occupies the whole width of the screen, like not the height, just the width. And imagine I enclose this both in a div. This will occupy the whole screen. Fine. Whole screen. Let me just demonstrate it to you. Div. Let me just take the ending tag and place it at the last. Fine. Now, one more thing, guys. All your operations, everything, it should happen between the body tag. Body tag. Fine. Okay. So now we are good to go, I guess. Okay. Now you might have not noticed anything much. Just you might have seen, this has gone up over here. This is due to the flex. You can customize this in CSS using flexbox properties. But for now, no problem. Let me just show you what this is. Okay. So all I did was right click, inspect, and just press this button. Now you see the whole thing. It's covering the whole page. Okay, let me show you in a better way. Yeah. So now you see div. You can see it written over there, right? In blue, div. So that is my div over here. And see, it's covering the whole width of the space. Fine. So generally we use a lot of divs in a website, while creating a website, etc. So that everything is paired and you can use a div around. Fine. So till now, I think everything must be perfect. No, nothing must be going wrong. I want to actually put this on the top. I want to put this back on the top over here. Yeah, fine. Or else, yeah, you can just, no problem. Yeah, fine. Yeah, okay, so that's not a problem. Everything is perfect. And we have added an image and div. Okay, I was a div and span. Okay, both are like, there's a bit of difference between them. Span, as I told, div, it occupies the whole width, right? Span doesn't do that. It just takes a space that's required. Fine. Now, span is advantageous in sometimes, while adding colors, etc., etc. But generally, a lot of people just use divs. Okay, if that's absolutely necessary, they'll use span or else a div. So till now, a basic website, a very, very basic website, it's done. Fine. This is a very basic website and you guys must not face any problems till now. Face any problems, you can put it in a chat over here. I will be looking at a chat or else my team will help you. Fine. Okay. So now, okay, I want to show you guys something. Now you see the index.html over here. It looks very dirty, right? I mean, the icon looks very bad and you don't get the nice feel to code. So there's one more extension to fix that. It's called as material icon theme. The first one, material icon theme. Okay, install it. And it'll ask you over here on top, select material icon theme. Fine. Now you go back to index.html, you can see it's become very beautiful now and it looks very nice and you feel like coding in this, right? So for now, I guess the basics of HTML, we are done. Fine. Now, shortcuts, everything is done. Let me just check what else is there any important thing over here. Oh yeah, one more thing, guys. If instead of selecting the whole line over here, if you want to select a certain line, just get your cursor to some line, press Ctrl plus L. It'll select the whole line. That's a shortcut in VS you can use for selecting the line, etc. So now that is done, we'll go. I think we can see the difference between VS Code and VS Studio once, and we'll just go to Git next. Okay. VS Studio and Visual Studio Code. Fine. Why do we use Visual Studio? So I specifically told you guys to download Visual Studio Code and not Visual Studio. The difference between them is Visual Studio is a IDE by Microsoft, which is used in C Sharp and .NET Framework applications. And it's like a heavy IDE, it's like a heavy duty IDE. And it's used by, when you are a developer and, you have to make, big projects, all that and all, and it generally takes up a lot of RAM, and yeah, it makes your computer a bit slow, but it has its own advantages. And it's not free though. I mean, the trial might be free and some of the things over there might be free, but Visual Studio is free to use extension. Yeah, so HTML, CSS, JS, many might have a doubt what these three do. It's very simple. Now just look at this robot. Okay, fine. Now you can see the skeleton structure of the robot. Just hold up. Let it finish dancing. Skeleton structure, that's HTML. The coloring, CSS. The movement, that's JS. Okay, fine. To better illustrate this, check this new slide. So you can see the picture to the left, the leftmost picture. That's just HTML. Fine. There's no design there, nothing. It looks like a 90s website. That's just HTML. Fine. The second website is HTML plus CSS. Fine. Just ignore the text that's written on the image, but it's HTML plus CSS because design has been added. You see, it looks nice, it looks better. Fine. And the last one is including JS. I want to clarify one thing over here, that these kind of animations can be done using CSS, fine. But the pressing of button and redirecting, all that and all has to be done using JS. Fine. Animations, you can do it to some extent using CSS. That's not a problem. But for it to be reactive, you have to use JS. Okay, what is Git? Now, this is a very important topic and very important concept, especially for CSIS students and who want to go to the technical group. Technical placements, etc. It'd be very helpful. Fine. So what is Git? DevOps tool used to track changes in the source code, and it was made in 2005. So basically, what does this mean? Let me just tell you what does it mean. I want you guys to go back to Chrome. Fine. Go back to Chrome. Open a new tab. Search for Git, not GitHub, nothing, just Git. Git. You see this over here? First link. Press it. Okay. Now you can. It generally recognizes your, working operating system, but if it does not, just I'll tell you what to do. Download for Windows. See over here, you can download based on whatever you want, but the main thing is click here to download the latest one. Download the latest version. Fine. Yeah, it's been downloaded. Let me just show it one last time. Okay, from first. Search for Git. Once you search for Git, go to Git over here. The first result. Then you have to do is press download for Windows. Fine. And click here to download. Simple. Fine. It just get downloaded. By that time, I'll just tell you what is Git. Okay. Fine. So what is Git? So now here's the thing. Now you want to save a code or a piece of file. You can do it using VS. Sure, there's Control S, all that and all. Okay. But now imagine you want to go back. Like, imagine now you want to go back, like you made a mistake in the code and you go back into a certain point of time. Now you can do it using VS, but VS just saves the timeline for just 1 day or 1.5 day, I guess. Or I think you can change it in the settings. But you know what this thing does? Git, it stores it for the whole duration of time from when you have initialized it. So in case you want to go back to the first day and be like, oh no, that was better. So you can just go back to the first day and start coding from there again. Fine, that's the advantage of Git. And one more thing, Git and GitHub are not the same. Fine. Git is developed by Linux and GitHub by Microsoft. Those both are different, but we generally use it together. That's all. So my Git is done, but it might take some time for you guys. So till then, uh, let me just revise what we have done till here and we'll move forward. Fine. So I went to extensions, downloaded some three extensions: live server, live share, and material icon theme. Fine. Once I downloaded the extensions, I went back and I created a new folder on my desktop called as webinar. Fine. In the webinar, I created a folder called part one. Okay, that's all. Then what I did is I opened the folder using open folder, open part one. Fine. Okay. So this is a folder. So yeah. So now index.html, we created a file called index.html. So yeah, you can use index.html, but once it gets on GitHub, it doesn't recognize it for some reason. So you guys have to use HTML only. Fine. You could use HTML if you're, doing it or you're deploying it by yourself. But if you're deploying it through GitHub, .html is a must. And yeah, that's the general convention also. So use .html and .html. Okay, so then we made a very basic website over here. That's all. Everything is perfect. We added a picture and I told you a bit about SEO. And then now we have downloaded Git. So by now it must have downloaded. So I'll go ahead with the configuration. Now here's the thing, guys. Press yes. Yes, no problem. Press yes. Now from here, all you got to do is press next, 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 next. And one more thing, guys. Press next. Don't change this location. This is a default location. Let it stay in a default location, because sometimes when you are pushing code, etc., it might be hard for you to find the location of Git. Okay, so it's better that it stays in a default location. Just don't change anything. Fine. Next. Yeah, but I got this information. I got this info because I already had Git before and I don't think so I uninstalled it properly. Fine. Just press yes. If you want, you can put it on the desktop. I actually don't want it, so I'm not putting that. Next, 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 next. All you got to do is press next. Fine. If you want, the exactly what all that mean, all that, like, should you change options according to your preferences, you can actually refer to the documentation over here. This documentation might be hard to read, but you can refer YouTube also. Over here, you can see a reference manual over here. You can just search the entire site, or, here, 1 second. Yeah, here config, you can go to config and figure it out. It's not a problem. Okay, so let it download. Now, congratulations, Git has been successfully installed on your laptop. Give me a second. Yeah, so view release notes. I don't want to see the release notes. Launch Git bash. Fine. So, guys, Git bash and terminal. You can use anything, whatever you want. But the thing is, if you want to use Git bash, no, you got to open, again, like there is a terminal, inbuilt terminal in VS. How do you get that? Is by pressing control and tilde operation over here. Okay, so you can just use a terminal instead of using git bash over here. Git bash, if you want, you guys can use it, but I prefer using a terminal. Okay, because it's faster and you know it requires less time, of course. So let me just cancel that. Now we must be done configuring Git. Now here's the thing. I want you guys to restart your VS Code once. When you restart it, it automatically detects if the Git has been installed and it catches up on it. So now you have opened the terminal. Now, in case you're not getting the shortcut or in case it's not opening, what you got to do is go on top over here, terminal, press new terminal. Fine. It'll open a terminal like this. Fine. It'll open a terminal like this. So my PowerShell has opened for me and I can start using the Git commands. So let me start by telling the first command, which is git init. What git init does? So basically it creates a folder. Fine. Nothing much. It just creates a folder where it stores all the history, all the commits you have made, all the changes you have made to your code, it stores it. So, whenever you want to go back to a particular time, like particular timeline, it retrieves the information from there. Fine. Everything will be stored in the .git folder. Now let's make a .git folder. How do we do that? Make sure that you are in the same directory. How do you check that? Just see this here. Desktop, webinar, part one. Fine. I created a folder called webinar, desktop. Of course, we're in a desktop, webinar, part one. Yes, this is where my file is. And generally, if you're already in this folder, it will show the path also to this folder. So you don't have to worry about that. Fine. So this is how your path must look, give or take. And now you can put a command called git init. This one. Yeah. So now you can see, one second. You can see a line over here, initialize the empty git repository. So what does this mean? As I told, you will be creating a folder, will be holding all the changes, holding all the saves, etc. Right? Go back. Now see, you see nothing over here, right? Let me just open this once again. There was supposed to be a .git folder. I told you that you have to create a .git folder. Nothing came because that's a hidden file. You can actually view it. You can just go to your file manager, as is it, the top buttons over here. Go to view. If you're on, this will work on Windows 10, Windows 11. I'm exactly not sure, but just try googling it. You'll get it. So view hidden files over here. Enable it. You can see this .git over here. That's the file which stores everything. Now here's a recommendation, guys. Whenever you're doing a project, don't mess with the .git file. Fine. Don't accidentally delete it also. So that's the reason you don't enable this option at all, because sometimes you might accidentally delete the system files. Who knows? So hidden items, close it back. Fine. I was just showing that so that you know that a folder has been created, a secret folder. So now git init is done. Now you've created a folder. Now what should you do? Now you'll be deploying the code to GitHub, for example. Fine. So what should you do? First process is add all the code. Fine. You have to add all the code. And then you have to give it a name. Fine. That this is part one or this is part two of the code. And finally, you can deploy it to GitHub. Fine. So what we'll be doing now is we'll just add it for now. We'll just add it. And I'll show you some more commands you can use on Git. Okay. So now to add this. Fine. Git add dot. So now git add dot, what does it mean? Add everything that is in this folder. Dot means like this folder. Add everything that is in this folder. So now you can see, you can also use git add dash a, but git dot does the same operation. Fine. So git add dot, everything has been added. Now to check if everything has been added, what you do is git status. Just a second, guys. I'll just check the chat if there are any doubts over here. No, fine. No doubts. Fine. Git status. Now see, you can see one file, a new file called index.html, which is index.html, which has been staged. Okay, staged. What does staged mean? Staged means it has been added. Fine, it has been added to a stage or or area. It has been added. Now it's waiting to get a label. Fine, to get a label that this is part one, this is part two. It's just waiting for that. Why don't we just give it a label? Fine. It's called as commit. So what commit does is it'll store the code at that point of time. So imagine now you're playing a old game. Fine, like the 90s game. Remember emulators when you used to play adventure games, and you could actually at that time pause the game in between and save it. Like you can have multiple saves, so whenever you want you could have gone back and played from there again. So same thing over here, same concept. Fine. So let me just do the same thing. Let me just save a checkpoint. Git commit. Fine. Git commit dash m and give a name. I'll name it as part one. See, here's the thing, guys. In the double inverted commas, you can put anything. Uh, Fine. Yeah. Okay. I had to disable that. That's my fault. So the latest extension which we installed was called Material Icon Theme. Material Icon Theme. Fine. Yeah. So this will just beautify your this thing over here. That's all. Guys, let me just come to settings and just turn off the chat bubbles. Yeah. Okay, so now till now. Okay, so where are we? So as I said, guys, in this double inverted commas over here, you can put anything. You can put part two, x part two, whatever you want, you can put. Okay, fine. Just for labeling purposes, I'll be putting this as part one. So again, this is a checkpoint. We'll be saving this. Fine. Git commit dash m part one. Now you see here, one file change, 16 insertions. Why is this? Because, this is the first time we are initializing init and we have committed it. So all the changes, which is basically all the files from start, will be put to this commit. Fine. So as I said, GitHub commit, just a checkpoint or a save point where your code gets saved. And anytime you want, you can come back to this. Fine. Till now, it must be perfect. There must be no errors. Fine. Now here's one more very nice thing. Fine. Imagine now you are working on this website, fine, and I just fall asleep. And I fall asleep and I just go all this. So now the thing is you can press Control Z. Of course, you can just go by revert, or let's go to timeline. But there's a git command for even that. Fine. So how do you do that? It's called checkout. Fine, checkout. What checkout does is it takes you back to the saved history or the saved checkpoint. We just saved a checkpoint using commit, right? Part one. It'll take us back to that checkpoint. How do we use it? Git. Now, guys, if you are finding any difficulty using these commands, I just they have sent a PDF in the chat box, right? Refer to that PDF. I'll just send it once more. Yeah, check. Uh, okay, yeah. So here's the thing. Someone got an error over here that it's not recognized. So here's the thing. Restart your VS Code once. It might work. It will definitely work if you restart your VS Code once. Or else later just DM me. I'll just help you with that. Fine. It must work usually. So okay. Now where are we? Git checkout dot. Fine. What this does is it takes your repository or your files back to the initial state. See, everything has been cleared, everything is perfect. So what this did is it took the commit, like the latest checkpoint, and just went back to the checkpoint. So I didn't lose any work now. That's amazing, right? So you can use this. Of course there are options, here's such timeline and all, but guys, here's the thing, don't rely on this, because sometimes it just saves it up to only some 2-3 hours, all that. So just don't rely on this. Okay, so yeah, you learned about git checkout, you learned about git status, you learned about git add. Okay, now one more thing, guys. Git init. Whenever you make a file or a folder, git init is used only once. I've used it once, done. I'll not use it again. In case I'm making a new project into a new folder, that time I can make it again. Fine. I can just use git init again. Fine. So now, I think that must be it with git. Uh, is there anything? Let me just check if there's any more important things over here. Yeah, no. So for now, Git, it's done. And, we'll go back to the PPT and start learning about how to, send this code to GitHub. Fine. It's using Git. Fine. I'll just explain this slide also once. So as I told, Git tracks the changes you made to your files. Like, I told you how you can save a checkpoint and then come back to a checkpoint. So it saves all the changes inside a git folder. Fine. And what has been done, you can automatically merge changes, so different parts can work on the same file without changing it. So what they mean by this second point is how to configure username and name in git. I'm just coming to that. Fine, I'll just come to that in just like a minute. So okay, yeah. So what you can do, so what does this mean is, once we use GitHub, you'll have many collaborators, like, sometimes 5-6 people will be working on a project. So these commands are very useful when some 5-6 people are working on a project and you have to keep up with the changes. Fine. Can you just share this screenshot, Priyanshu? Okay, next I want to show you guys is okay, GitHub. So what is GitHub? You guys might have heard of GitHub, all that. You guys might have, even used GitHub till now, but you might have not, how to push using Git. So what is GitHub? Code hosting platform. So you guys might have seen a lot of, people hosting their code on Git, or might have even copied some of the code for your projects. Yeah, we know all about that. So yeah, so this is how, let me just log out. So let me just sign out. So this is how your GitHub login page will appear. Fine. So this is GitHub and it's used for, hosting code, for deploying web pages, all that. So you see this picture over here. I explained this before. Git is not equal to GitHub. What does this mean is, Git and GitHub are not the same. Okay. One is developed by one company, another is developed by another. They're just integrated. Like, you just integrate both while using it. So workflow in GitHub. I'll teach you all that. Fine. And just now, what I want you guys to do is head over to github.com, see github.com, and sign up. Sign up for a account. If you guys have an account, good. Just log in. If you have forgotten the password, just reset it. Wait, log in, and just wait. Stretch out a bit and just wait for some time. Fine. Let others make the account. The account takes like a minute or two maximum. So let others make the account. Fine. So till then, I'll just take a small break. If you guys have any doubts, please leave it in the chat because I'm looking at the chat right now and my team is also there. So if you have any errors or any, we'll just help you with it. So let me just go over how to send screenshot here. I guess there must be a button over there down on camera button. Or if that's, I think it's been disabled. Okay. So you see you just go to meeting details, you might see any of the presenter. Just send it to just DM it to them. Fine. Just DM the screenshot to any of the presenter, they'll get it to me. So I'm just waiting for, you guys to create an account on GitHub. I'll just wait till then. Fine. Till then, let me just explain one more slide. Some easy slide over here. No, you guys have to log in for that first. So anyway, what we'll be doing is, I'm assuming you guys have created an account. We'll just wait for 1 more minute, 2 more minutes. That's all. Fine. Oh, while we are waiting, I want to tell you guys about a very important thing. Listen to this very carefully. Fine. Go to Google, search for GitHub student benefits. GitHub student benefits. Fine. Press it. Press the first one. So now here's the thing. What's the advantage of using this? Now, from our college, which is BIT, now everyone do not have a Microsoft account. I mean, they might have given it to you in your first years, like code and a account, a password and account, but that's just a mass account one. That will not work. Okay, if you want an account, you directly have to contact someone in college. I think someone from the CS department. They'll make a Microsoft account and give it to you. So, what is the advantage of this? Why am I telling this is very important? This is especially for CS, IS, EC, whatever, whichever branch. Well, especially this is very very helpful, and you get a lot of stuff for free. Like example, you go here, and I go to view student benefits, get student benefits. Now, let me just log in and yeah. So this is my account. Fine. Now you can see the amount of offers benefits I'm getting over here. Fine. Let me just view all offers. Power you are not explode. Fine, let us see where are all offers, all offers, all offers. Okay, yeah. So see the amount of offers you're getting over here, which is absolutely free. See, there's so much. And what's the best part over here? MongoDB. You guys might have heard it. It's a database. So you'll get a free certification, which is which is worth $150. If you get this certification, it's very prestigious. Okay, it's hard. The exam is very hard, but this is free of cost. You'll not be paying $150 and you'll get a free exam. This will be very helpful for your resume, especially, there are a lot of third year students, if I'm not wrong today, a lot of third year students, and it'll be very helpful to you people. Fine. It's called as GitHub Student Benefits. GitHub Student Benefits. Fine. Try to log in, make an account over there. You can do this after this seminar. That's not a problem. Webinar. It's not a problem. You can just okay. Here's the thing, Priyanshu. Press on the terminal. You are there in the output. Just go back to terminal. You can see the terminal from there. You can just configure stuff. Okay, so some people are actually getting the errors of, enter your config, please tell us who you are. Fine. So what you have to do is, so I think this didn't come for me because my cache might be already saved in my laptop. So what you got to do is, in case that comes, because anyway I was about to log in right now, but in case that thing comes, but it should usually never come. I don't know, maybe you have install githubs at some point of time, use git and there's some error coming. I'll just come back to the error in a minute or so. Just okay, now you guys must have been done with your GitHub account. You guys must have been done. Fine, sign in. So your page must look something like this. My GitHub is a bit broken today. I don't know exactly why, but your page must look something like this. Fine. Now, what you guys need to do is, how can you clear JSON error in VS Code? Sure, send the error. We'll try to debug it. So what you guys need to do is press the plus button over here on top. You see the plus button here? Press it. New repository. What does new repository means? It means you're creating a new folder. That's all. Nothing much. Don't break your head. New folder. Fine. Create it. So now you can see all this. Enter a repository name. It can be anything. For now, I'll keep this as uh, part one webinar BIT. Fine. Description, it's optional, guys. You guys want to give, you give, or else no. For now, sometimes when you're working on secret projects, like, you can make this private over here. Now, all the projects, whatever you make, and if that's public, it will be visible to everyone on the internet. Fine. If they even Google your name, they'll get all your projects. So in case you have some secret projects, make it private. No one will get access to it, and it'll be, no one can clone it, etc., etc. So for now, I'll make it public because I don't mind if anyone on the internet gets it public, and just don't mess with anything over here. Create repository. Fine. Now you will reach this page. Fine. All I did was here, new repository, and created a repository. Fine. Now this might look a bit, weird at first, like what is all this and all. Now there are two ways of, there are multiple ways actually of uploading a file onto GitHub. Of course, there's GitHub desktop, all that and all. Or you can upload an existing file using this option. Okay, you can do that. But I recommend you guys to use Git, use terminal or Git bash or anything, and upload it directly from using Git, because we are learning Git and GitHub, right? So we'll just use that. So everything is given here. Fine. Everything is almost the same. Like what we did. You remember we used Git in it. Fine. We didn't add a README, but we added everything. We committed it. Fine. Till now, everything is same, right? Now here's the thing. Now you got to, Git is present on your local system, right? And GitHub is remote. So you somehow have to tell GitHub that, that we are verified, like, I am Akash. I have to tell them, right? So here is something you can do. Fine. You have to configure the username and the, you know, email ID. So how do you do that is, I've sent you a PDF in the link. Just check it out. These two commands will be using only once for maybe your lifetime, because, in case you have the same computer. So it's okay. You guys can copy paste this. That's not a problem. Over here, you see these two lines over here. Third line, ignore the third line. These two lines. Fine. Let's just do it together. So now what are we doing is just verifying with GitHub that I'm Akash, fine, or whatever your name is. Git config dash dash. Let me just check once. Yeah, git config global space user dot name space your username. Your username is this. Okay, let me just verify this. Go back to GitHub over here. On top, you can see your photo or your avatar over here. Sign in as Akash Grinja. This is mine. You see the Akash Grinja. It'll be yours over here. Fine. It'll be yours. So all you got to do is copy this. Like just copy this and then paste it over here. Akash Ninja. By the way, guys, I know this is common sense, but don't use mine because it doesn't matter because you guys will not get verified anyway. So just don't use mine. Okay, this accepted it. See, there are no errors, so then it's peace. Now, same thing. Okay, one more thing, guys. If you want to use the previous commands, like, there will be times when you want to use a lot of previous commands, same commands again and again. So what you guys do is use arrow keys, like up arrow, last command, up arrow, later last command. You want to come back, down key, down key. Fine. It's very easy way to do it instead of typing the whole thing again and again. So same thing, like before, all I'm going to do is change user email. That's all. That's all. And I'm going to change my user email. See, it accepted that. So there were no errors. So that's all fine. Now here's the thing, Akash Giri Ninja and my user mail. And I just want to check now how to check if you guys are logged in with GitHub. I mean, you have connected to GitHub. How to check that? There's another command for that, which I have placed it in the PDF. See this here, the last one over here, git config global list. That's the command. Git config dash dash global dash dash list. See, you can see my username. My username it is configured. Everything is done. Everything is set up now. Fine. Now you are actually good to go. Now you can push this code onto GitHub without any problems now. So till now, I'm going to assume there have been no errors. Like, there was an error. Now I've taught you how to even log in. So there must be no errors whatsoever. And by the way, guys, you can see the many this thing over here, many tabs over here, and some guys got a problem because you are there in the output. Go to terminal over here. Fine, the terminal. We are all working on the terminal. You can use output when you're using some other coding languages and you want the output, you can use that. But we are working on the terminal, so use the terminal. Fine. Then what else? So now I think we are all good to go. Yeah, so we are all good to go. Fine. So now let's push it to GitHub. So I'm assuming you guys have made an account on GitHub. Everything has been done. And you guys can see this link over here. Fine. Don't use my link. Fine. Just copy paste this. Copy. You guys will have a link over here. Copy this and just keep it. Fine. Don't do anything with the link now. Just copy it. Now, let me just add it once more because I remember adding it. Remember the first time we initialized it and added it. We have added it, but let me just add one last time now. Git add dot. Fine. We have added it. Everything's perfect. Git commit dash m. I'll name it whatever I want. Check. See, nothing to commit working tree cleaning. What does it mean? It means that from last time when I committed this, like when I saved a checkpoint, there are no changes at all. So there's nothing. So you'll not even, store this commit. Fine. Everything is clean. So everything we are set where everything is done. Now we can deploy this on GitHub. So till now, there must be no problems at all. Now we'll deploy this on GitHub. How do we do that? First thing, you have to link this and GitHub, right? So, you have to tell the file that want to push it to GitHub and to this specific repository. How do you do that? So you add a repository link. Fine. So how do you do that is git remote add origin. Now, all these commands again and again, I'm telling guys, it's in the PDF over here. Every command over here is in the PDF. Let me just show you once more. Git pull, git pull, git pull, git push also. See over here. Git remote add origin. Fine, same thing. Git remote add origin. Then you guys have to do is paste a link. Now see, there is no error. So basically the remote has been added. So now the files, I have added a path from the, local to remote where it should go onto my GitHub. Fine. Now, basically I want it to come here, right? To this folder on GitHub or this repository. So I added the path. Everything is now set. All we have to do is push the code, right? Till now we have added everything. We have set a path for it to where it to go. We have to just do is push, right? So why don't we just push it? How to push it? Git push origin master. Now just wait for a minute or two. Now you can see all this, like, it's been done. Everything, see, done over here. You can confirm it master to master, everything. Now, so you see, there's no changes at all. So what's happening here? So the thing is, you got to just refresh it once. So as soon as you refresh it, you'll see some changes. Now see, my index HTML has come on GitHub. So we have successfully connected Git with GitHub, and we have successfully pushed the code on GitHub. Now here's the thing, guys. All this, we set up the username, email, and all that is done only once. Fine. That's why I'm telling you guys, don't by heart the commands. Those two commands, especially, don't by heart it at all. You can just Google it and get it every time. Fine. So don't by heart those two commands, but rest of the commands which I taught, it'll be very helpful. Fine. Of course, you can go to Google or use a cheat sheet, but this commands will be very helpful. Fine. So all you guys got to do now is let's just check this. Fine. See the same code. Everything is proper. Everything is done. Fine. So let me just teach you how to navigate through GitHub. So you see your avatar or a picture over here. You always have to go to your repositories. As soon as you go to your repositories over here, see all the projects which you have, everything over here, what you have. Fine. So this is the project we just made, right? So you might just get this over here, press on it. So this is all your files. Everything has been done. Everything has been set. Now, here's the thing, guys. The website looks like this, which we made, because I didn't, add a lot of CSS, all that. Okay, fine. You know what? We'll just add one piece of inline CSS. So inline and external CSS difference is external CSS. We have to create a new folder over here, like example. Don't create this. Just I'll just explain. Style.css. A CSS folder will be created. Okay, let me just delete it. But inline CSS is whenever you write CSS in the code in the HTML same folder, it's called as inline CSS. You can do it by using the style tag, or you can just add it using the style tag basically. So what I want to do is change the background color now. Fine. So the body, and change the color of the body. Body means the whole page content. Fine. Let me change. Go to body. Give it a parameter. Style. See, autocorrect, autofill. It's like already there. So enter. What do I want here? I'll go down, 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 down. Background color. And which background color do I want? Let's go with blue. Fine, just to identify blue. So all sorted. Let me just go back. It didn't reflect anything because you see now the live server, which I had closed this for restarting it. So the server had stopped. Fine. Or else this was about to work, but I had closed this, so live server was turned off. So in case you are getting the same error, just try to reload the page once like this. If it's not reloading, what you guys have to do is again press on right click, open with live server. Fine. So you see, it looks very bad now because there's no CSS, of course. Okay, looks very, very bad. So other than that, now for deploying it, now we can deploy it using GitHub Pages. Now you see over here on top, this link. You might have seen this link looks very weird because this is the link given by the local host. So basically this hosted on the local host. Fine. So you can't share this link with your friends unless they're on the same Wi-Fi network or your data network with you. Your friends can't see this. So how do you want to show it to your friends? How do you do that? You can just do this by posting it right on GitHub. So of course you have you have sent the whole website to GitHub. So now you can, of course, you can deploy that also. That's not a problem. Fine. It's not a problem at all. But now here is the thing. That website looks very shabby. Fine. You can just show it to your friends. And there's one more concept I want to explain you about. It's called a Git clone. Git clone. So what is Git clone? So imagine you come to my code. Example, this is my code. You come to my code and you want to, you like this code. You want to copy paste it and write yourself. So what you guys will generally do is press on code and do download zip over here. Am I right? But now here is a small problem. Of course, you can download zip, extract it, all that, but it's very inefficient. So what you can do is use a command for a git clone, because guys, you know how to use git now, right? So you can use git clone. So how do you use git clone? For that, I want to actually, give you guys a website and I want to clone that. So I'll be, sending a website link on your chat Teams chat. Just check it out right now. Yeah, this. Yeah, so the link has been gone. So you can see the link in the chat, right, guys? Go to that link, you'll reach a page like this. Fine. So I'm assuming you guys have, pressed the link and you have come here. Of course, on your laptop, fine, not on your phone or anything, on your laptop. Now, guys, some of the guys who, don't have a laptop or anything and are using the phone, you guys can just, see this and understand how everything works. The whole the whole meeting, I'm recording it, and I will be, sharing the link at the end, or maybe after it gets processed after tomorrow or something. So don't worry about that. But if you stay for the whole meeting, you'll get the certificate, because we'll be checking the attendance. There's some procedures. So yeah. So now you guys are on this page, I'm assuming. Fine. Thanks to our Rotrack VP for letting me use the website. So yeah, anyway, what do you I want you guys to, can you resend it? Fine. Sure, I'll resend it. So anyone who has joined, like, just now got kicked out accidentally, this is the link again. Fine. Okay, there are no doubts. Yeah, perfect. That's the link which you just got in the chat. What I want you guys to do is press on code, the green color button here, copy this. Fine. Just you got to do is copy this. That's all. Now come back to your VS. Now guys, here's the thing. Okay, let me just close this. Now I want to make a part two. Fine. I want to make a part two over here, or like a folder over here, and paste the new link which I just copied. I want to copy paste the whole folder over here in the webinar folder, but I don't want to copy paste it in the part one folder, because part one we are already working with another project, right? I want to make a new project here in the webinar folder. But now you might have noticed in VS over here, you are already inside the part one folder. I want to go one folder back. Fine. I want to go one folder back and then create a folder there. So how do you go one folder back? For that, you can use a command called change directory, cd then dot dot. So what does this do? Now you can see I'm in the webinar folder. Fine. So basically I'm over here. Fine. I was here before in this folder doing all the changes, all the adding, everything. Now I went one folder back. I'm over here. Fine. Now what I want to do is add the project which I just copied the link from. Okay. The link was this. I went to code. I copied this. Fine. So now what you guys need to do is press git clone. Fine, exactly. Git clone what I put and the link over here. Now you see everything has been done, but you see there is nothing been reflected here, because even VS is still in the part one folder. For it to, you can just go press open folder again, webinar HTML. See, it has come. Fine. And select folder and voila, the new code has come. Fine. So what I want you guys to do is first check out what the code is. Fine. Go to index.html. See, there are many images here. I want you guys to ignore all of that for now. Go to index.html here. Fine. And you might have seen there are many different things over here, such as, there are fonts have been added, all that and all. So guys, learning all this, adding fonts, adding CSS takes at least, learning the whole CSS, HTML takes at least 6 to 7 hours minimum. I can't cover this in a whole 1 day web session. Okay, I need like at least 2 to 3 days to do that. And now time does not permit it. So just look at the code. Fine. You guys have to do nothing. Just do is look at the code. Just see how what is, going on. Just read the whole code, fine. And then what I want you guys to do is right click on the code anywhere, right click, open with live server. Again, we are just opening it, we are just checking it, fine, how the code looks. So see, this is a very nice website over here. I see my image is not there because, of course, I didn't add any image here. My skills, everything is there, fine. So what I want you guys to do is now search for things and edit it. Like for example, here, I am Akash Uday. Fine. Where is the line? Let me search. See here. I am Akash Uday. So you can change it to your name. Fine. I am Akash Hulekal. Save it. Control S. Save it. Go back. You see, it has changed over here. Same thing I want you guys to do with the whole code. Like, wherever your things like you see like it's not proper, just change it. Fine. Take an enthusiast. Fine. This is nice. No problem. I study at BIT. Proper. Everything is perfect. Now, what I want to change over here. Hello. Fine. Hello. I found hello. I'm going to change it to my name because it does not look good over there. Akash Uday. Save it. Fine. See, it has changed over here. Same thing I want you guys to do with everything over here. Try not to, touch the images for now because these images actually are nice. You can change it. It's your call. But again, it's all your call. Fine. And here, over here, mail to. Now, there's one more thing over here. In the href tag or the reference tag or the href tag, hyperlink reference tag, there are some tags like, inbuilt ones, params you can give it, such as mail to, phone number, etc. What these kind of tags do is they just redirect you to the specific thing. Example, now here it's written mail to and akashulekal@gmail.com. Now you go down, press what is the button? Contact me. See, it goes to the email provider, and you just, see from Akash Uday to Akash Uday shows here. So what I want you guys to do is change your new email ID, for example, xyz@gmail.com. Change your LinkedIn if you want. LinkedIn you can change over here, whatever. Save it. Fine. The LinkedIn is over here. See, LinkedIn, Twitter. Change the link over here. It all happens in the href and inside double inverted commas. Fine. So everything must be done by now. And one more thing, I want you guys to teach you how to use a offline image. Like for example, over here, you can see that there is no image over here. Akash Uday, on top of that, there's no image here. Let me just see where that is. So Akash Uday, of course, on top, image. You see image, SRC, there's nothing here. Fine. It is showing some path here, but this image does not really exist. So what I want you guys to do is choose a nice image of yourself. You might have one on your desktop, right? Um, I have not saved my image on my desktop, so I'll just choose a random image like this dog's image. I'll just copy this image from anywhere. Just take the image, take the image from anywhere on your desktop. Go back to the webinar HTML file, like you can see all these images, etc. So basically, what I'm doing is I chose the image anywhere on my laptop, went to a webinar folder, went to webinar HTML folder. I'll paste it now. Fine. Now what I got to do is come back to the code. You can see the new image has been added here. So now how do I, add the image here? Dot slash. As soon as you press dot slash, you'll get all the recommendations over here. Fine. The first one I want. Yes, correct. Let me just save it. I go back here. The image has been reflected over here. Fine. So I want you guys to, change the whole thing. Like, change your name, change whatever, you want to write here. Avoid touching these images. If you can remove this if you don't like it, but and change it, of course, or else don't touch the images. Akash Uday, my skills, everything you can write it here. It'll be like a personal portfolio website. If you are in, the third year or anything and you want to make a website, I recommend you to make a lot of changes here, like the images, etc. But this will be a nice website as your personal portfolio website. Fine. So now everything has been done. I'm going to assume. So why don't we deploy this again? Fine. This previous website which we deployed was nice. Fine. I agree. It was nice, but it's a better one, right? So why don't we deploy it? Same procedure. Here is a challenge, guys. Try to do it. Same procedure. Fine. I'll just give you a minute. I'll just drink water. I'll just give you a minute. All you got to do is create a new repository on GitHub, like here, same thing, plus button, create a new repository and add the code. Fine. Take a minute and just try it. I'll be taking some doubts, guys. If you have any doubts, you can leave it in the comments. So yeah, so I don't think so there are any doubts here, and let's continue. So anyway, the challenge was okay, so there are no doubts. Fine. So the challenge was to push it again on GitHub, this new piece of code. So guys, I want you guys to do is create a new repository again. New repository. Fine. A new folder we'll create again. Name it second website. Fine. Make it public. No need description. Create repository. Till now, guys, it was quite simple, and I hope you guys got all of that. And before I forget, okay, let me just teach you how to push. And there's a bit more theory I want to guys teach you guys. So yeah, here we are here as usual, same like last time. All you got to do is copy paste this code. I mean, copy paste this link. My fault. Sorry. And just copy paste it. Fine. Now I want you guys to open the terminal. Terminal, new terminal. All I did was open the terminal. Fine. Like the same thing like last time. Now, as I told before, you got to first initialize or add a folder so that it stores all your changes. Am I right? Git init. Now here's the thing, guys. I made this or I borrowed this from someone, right? So that person already had a folder init folder. Fine. So now as soon as I press enter, you can see a word called is reinitialized because init folder was already there. Fine. So you just reinitialized it again. So that's not an error or anything. Just continue with it. Fine. Now let's git add dot. Fine. Add it all. Git commit dash m my first website. Now you can see over here all the insertion, deletions, all that and all. Now, as I said, you have added it, you created a checkpoint. Now, what you guys have to do is deploy it, right? I mean, I've deployed like you got to first set the path, like set the path from here to the remote GitHub, right? So let me just set it up. Git remote, adding a remote path, add origin. Again, guys, this is all on your PDF over here. You see over here, everything is here. All the, it's like a, what do you say, a cheat sheet over here. Add origin, copy this, add it. Now you can see there's error over here. A remote origin already exists. Now I've come across an error. So guys, most of you guys might actually give up or start asking your friends after this. Here's the best way to debug this. Always when you get errors like this, copy paste it. Fine. Copy paste it. Go to Google. Enter the error here. Now, generally, guys, as soon as you come to Google, refer to websites like Stack Overflow, W3 Schools, or something like that. Fine. So now see, let me just visit the website. Let's go down. So there are some answers over here. Update the existing route or etc. Just search for the simple answer. Like see example for this here. So what this user is telling to me to first remove the origin. Now here is what happened. So when the user first deployed it, like when I first deployed the website to my GitHub, I did add an origin, right? Because I wanted to create a path and then add it to my repository. Thing is, the origin will be stored in the init file and it'll be like logged on. Fine. So you want to remove it now because you got an error that origin already exists. What do you do here? You got to remove it, right? So there's a command for that. It's git remove origin. Git remote remove origin. Git remote remove origin. So now what you're doing is removing the path. The path was redirecting to my repo, right? But you want to upload it to your profile. Fine. So I remove the origin. You see, no error has come. So it has successfully removed the origin. Let me add origin back again. Fine. Your origin. Same thing. Over here, what you did here. Same thing over here. Fine. Add it. I'm using the up arrow keys again, guys. It's easy. So add origin. It added origin now. See, last time we got an error, but now we removed origin and added it back. Error is gone. So we have set a path from here to my profile, and now we'll just do is push it. Git push origin master. So let's just wait. Now you guys can see over here, everything has been done. Let me just go and reload the page and show you guys. Reload. So now you guys can see over here, everything has been done. All the files have been added. See, all the files have been added over here. So till now, I'm going to assume there are no errors. So if there are any errors, drop it in a chat box, because now it's the most important thing. We have come to, the most important thing, which is deploying the website so that you can share it with your friends. This is a very important topic, guys. Please pay close attention. I will just go through a theory one last time, guys. We are almost at the end, so just bear with me. Fine. Just one second. Shift F5. Okay, so creating okay workflow in GitHub. Remember just now how we deployed it to master. Fine. Master will be considered as the main branch, or main or master as a main branch. Fine. So I just committed. I just pushed it to master. We learned about committing, submitting a pull request, deploying discussions, etc. Now here's the thing, guys. Even using GitHub, right? Using pull, using fetch. Okay, fetch and merge are almost the same. So sometimes it becomes a bit complex, when you are pulling, pushing code and all, it becomes a bit complex. So that's the reason I just taught you guys how to push a code and clone a code. Fine, that's all. So I want you guys to perfect this first. As soon as you perfect this, then you can go to pull, all that and all. Fine. But for now, you guys just perfect this first, then we go to pulling, pushing, etc. in some other next webinar or something. So next thing, okay, now I'll give a real life example. Assuming there are two people, Karthik and Avinash. Fine. Karthik is the owner and Avinash is a collaborator. What is a collaborator? Collaborator is someone, you have added him to your repository so that you both can work together on a code. Like for group project example, you both are working together. Fine. Now Karthik can push a project to GitHub. Like just now we pushed a project, right? He can push it. Now, what Avinash can do is clone the project, like copy paste the project, make some changes, and if he has collaboratory options, he can push it back to GitHub to Karthik's repository only. He can do that only if he has the permissions. Fine, you can go and give the permission in the settings, of course. So here's what happens. Karthik will push the code. Avinash will take it. Now Avinash will make some changes. Fine. He'll add a new button. He'll add some JS to it, make it more beautiful. He'll again push the code back to GitHub. Fine. Now see the code is gone back to GitHub. Fine. Now Karthik should get the code back from GitHub because here Avinash has made a lot of changes. So what Karthik will do is pull the code back. Fine. He'll pull the code back and the changes will be shown. Once the changes are shown, Karthik can again, code on that, make some changes, push it back. So, you can do this till you finish your code. You can pull, push, make changes, push back, everything. Fine. Now one more, there are some more features which are offered by GitHub, which is first is GitHub Pages. Now we'll be using that to host our website. Secondly, okay, there has been some mistake, but Git is just used for Git integration. Fine. And GitHub Copilot. Now, many of you guys might have heard about GitHub Copilot. It became viral some days back. So what GitHub Copilot does is, you add a comment like add two numbers. It fulfills it. Like, it gives you a code for that. Fine. So if you have a student's benefits, as I told you that time, you have a benefits account, as I told you that time, this is free. Trust me, guys. Get yourself a student GitHub student benefit account. It's free of cost, and it'll stay there for you for all for 4 years of your engineering. So anyway, GitHub Copilot. Yeah, so let me just come back to this now. So guys, till now I'm assuming everything has been done according to what I said. You guys have these files over here. Everything is perfect. Everything has been done. If you have any errors, you can show now because we are going to deploy it, and this is the most important part of this webinar. Fine. Okay. So now you are here. Now I want you guys to go to settings. Fine. Over here. Just hold up a second, guys. Yeah, fine. Settings. Settings. Nothing. Okay, let me just show you from first in case you accidentally exit GitHub and you want to come back. Go to github.com. Your page must open like this. Fine. You will see all your friends' recent history, all that, recent commit history, etc. Press on this button over here, which, says your profile or your avatar. Go to your repositories. So I have a lot of repositories because I have a lot of code here, but you might have the first two here. That's all. What you guys should do is press on the first one because we just made the first one. You'll land over here. Fine. Till now, it must be very easy. There must be no problems whatsoever. Fine. You guys can do is go to settings over here, settings, go down, go down. And okay, guys, so as I was telling, collaborators, you found you can add collaborators using this. For example, you can go add collaborators, add people like example, random person. Don't add random people, but you can just press add and they'll get added and they can make changes to this repository as well. So anyway, we went to settings over here. Now we'll go to pages. Pages, you see pages over here in code and automation. Now, GitHub pages. What you got to do is come down to branch. Fine. Come down to branch over here. Master, because master was the branch name which we gave or the main branch. Press save here. Press save. Okay. Now press now here. Come back to source. Press GitHub Actions. Page source save. Everything must be done. Now your site has been deployed. Workflow details server once your site has been deployed. So now guys, the site will take some time to deploy. How to check it is come back to code over here. So I was in settings, right? I was just now in settings. You got to do is come back to code. You see a red dot here. Fine. Press on the red dot and press on details. Now see all the building. They are building the website. Everything. I think it's deployed. Yeah, it's deployed. Let's see. No, it's not deployed still. So everything will, you'll just deploy the website. You'll just configure it, build it, deploy it. It takes some time. Okay, it'll take maximum like one minute, 2 minutes maximum. It depends on how big your website is. Now you see, I got a tick mark over here. Fine, tick mark. Go to settings again. Go to pages. You can see over here your site is live. Control click. Website has been deployed. So now this link you can send it to all your friends over here. Can send it to your friends and this congratulations, you have made your first starting website and you can build up on this. You can make some changes, etc. But you just got the brief concept of how you make a website and deploy it, right? So that is web development. Fine. So what if we have made over here is just a front end? There's no back end involved at all. But many people actually, these days many people prefer like, want the front end website. So you can just use basic HTML CSS and make a website. And one more thing, you guys can see the link is a bit funny over here. It's given my my username and my GitHub. Just one second, guys. There's a doubt here. Okay, so the Priyanshu, other thing is you have made your repository private. Okay, so when you are creating a new repository, no, you have made it private. So what you got to do is, in case guys you have made your repository private. Now you have made a repository private, no problem. What you got to do is come back to settings. Here, settings, go down, go down, go down, go down, go down, go down. Come to this danger zone over here and change visibility. Fine. Let me just show you one last time. Come to settings. Fine. Go down, go down, go down, go down. Change visibility and make it public. Fine. Make it public. Put in whatever whatever they say and become public and you must not get that error. Fine. Even though you are getting the error, it's not a okay. I think you have to make it public. No problem. Fine. Yeah, just make your website public and deploy it once again. Fine. So see, your website link has come over here. You can of course share it with your friends, etc. Let me just share it in the chat box. Now, as I was telling, the link might look a bit funny over here because it's given Akash Ninja, GitHub.io, all that. And then imagine you want a custom name, like for example, rotarclub.co.in. The name is taken, but in case you want a name like that or similar names as to what you guys want, same thing you guys will have to do. Go to pages here. You see this custom domain over here. You got to add a custom domain and press save. Here's the thing: you guys can't add any random custom domain and expect it to save. You guys have to first buy the domain from Namecheap or GoDaddy or any such thing like that. It'll cost, depends on domain. It'll cost from 100 to 5,000. It depends on what your name, the names you have taken and how rare it is, etc. Once you paste your custom domain here, there are some more procedures you have to do, like configuring the CNAME, etc. And you can use a custom domain. But for now, you guys are learning, so I don't recommend you to do that. And it's not that big of a website, so you can use this. Now, this website, you can of course add it to your LinkedIn, etc., and tell it as your first portfolio. But I recommend you guys to make some changes, add better things over here. Just not this, add better things of what you guys know, and you can upload, of course, put it on LinkedIn as your first static website. So static websites, I think I have clarified everything. You guys have doubts, again and again, I'm telling, guys can contact my whole team, the road track team. You can see many people who are presenters. Contact any of them and they'll get to me. Also, you can, contact me. My name is right there, Akash Uday. Just can contact me on Teams. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Fine. So now we have deployed the web pages. Now what's left? So now, guys, there is something, as I was telling, called as git pull, right? Now git pull is kind of a complex topic. I don't want to call it complex, but it's kind of confusing topic. Fine. So I'll just teach you what git pull is, and I don't want to do anything ahead of that. Fine. So now, assuming I go back to the code here. Fine. Now I have gone to the code over here. Now I feel I'll go back to index.html over here. I'll press the edit button, which is the pencil button over here. Now I'll just go down. Now see, my name is there, Akash Uday. Fine. Now I want to keep my full name. So now what do? I just press Akash Uday. Uday. Fine. I can set it here. This also can be used as text editor, VS. Once I do it, I'll press commit changes. Now there's been a new update over here. Of course, it'll build a website again and deploy it. You can't see the changes right now. See, you can just say Akash Hulekal over here. It was supposed to say Akash Uday Hulekal. So what you got to do is rebuild it. Same procedure. You got to just do is go to pages and rebuild it. That's not a problem. Fine. But now in your local directory, now example, you want to now changes have been made. Fine. Now what do you do? So you want to get the changes back to your report. Either of course, you can copy paste, clone it back again. But the simplest way is to use git pull. Git pull. And now you have to give the name of the branch, like, where you have deployed it. Fine. So remote branch. So it generally be origin master. You guys might have noticed, see, Akash Uday just came over here. Fine. Akash Uday just came over here. So that's pull. Pull is like, if your friends or someone have made changes to your code, etc., and you want to, get the code, you have to use git pull. What git pull does is it just basically sees all the changes that have been done and just puts it back to your code. Now git fetch and git merge, the other two. Now guys, I just want you guys to remember this because you'll be using this a lot. You can check and merge only the things you want. Git pull basically, it doesn't see, it just takes everything in your account and just merges it off. Fine. So that's the reason I'm telling git pull, git merge, git fetch, and git merge is a bit teeny tiny complex kind of topic. So I'll just stop here. I'm going to stop at this topic for now because you guys have successfully deployed a website over here. You can share the link to your friends, post on LinkedIn, etc. Now this one very important. It's not a concept actually. It's more like tricks and tips. Fine. Okay, so some websites to debug your code. As I said, Stack Overflow. We just went to Stack Overflow. So what are its advantages, etc. W3 schools and geeks or geeks. Now one more thing, guys. Stack Overflow. You guys can use it, like use it. Fine, that's not a problem. But sometimes you get addicted to it, like so much that you don't even see what is the use of that code. All you do is go there, copy paste, copy paste, copy paste. Now fine, it'll work. Fine, your code will work. But in the long term and all, while you go to interviews, etc., when they cross question you, you might fall into trouble. So guys, avoid copy pasting. Copy paste only if that's necessary and try to understand the code. Fine. Oh yeah, and some more technical clubs of BIT I want to mention about. Revolution Club, they make robots, all that, etc. Ham Club, of course, it's a new club and they keep technical events. OS Code, of course, you might have heard of them, hackathons, etc. And SGI Club keeps, I mean, codeathons, okay, fine. OS Code, codeathons, hackathons, and SGI Club also same codeathons, hackathons, etc. Well, before I go to the acknowledgement, I want you guys to, show you one last thing. Let me just check if there are any important concepts which I've missed, guys. Just hold on 1 second. Yeah, also, guys, these days, if you want to practice coding, you can try HackerRank or CodeChef, any of that, and you can get better at coding. Fine. The HackerRank and CodeChef, you can practice, competitive coding, all that and all, and get better at that. And for now, it's what else? Okay, so for now, I guess it's that much. I'm assuming you guys have deployed your website, and I will be sharing a form right now. Fine. Of You guys have to fill the form so that it's a feedback form. But fine. You guys fill the form, you get the certificates. Fine. I'll close the form. Once I put the form, I'll close it in 10 minutes, guys. So fill it as soon as possible. Fine. Uh, there's one more error. No, fine. There's no errors. Fine. So acknowledgement, a brief acknowledgement I like to give is um, so firstly, I would like to thank Microsoft student community for giving me this platform to showcase my knowledge. Also, a huge thanks to Rotaract Club of PIT for spot like helping me with this event, hosting this event, all that. They helped me a lot in all the things, and I like to thank them a lot. It could not be possible without them. And also, guys, participants who joined today, thanks a lot for joining. We couldn't have done it without you. And one more thing is, I like to thank, of course, the teachers, of course, for especially HODs who shared it with you guys, the links, all that, etc. And yeah, for now, it's that much. I want to, guys, one last thing, just bear with me. Just one last thing I want you guys to show you. There's something called as MS Learn. Fine. Microsoft Learn. You Google it. Now they'll provide some free courses and some certificates for the courses. Like not everything is not free, but basics of Azure, basics of DevOps, all that, everything is free. Fine. There'll be some modules. You just have to do it, get certified, and that'll be very helpful for your resume. Fine. You what you do is come to Microsoft Docs, sign in, and do it. Now here is the thing, guys. I'll just explain the PDF very briefly, which I had sent. Now, fine. What is HTML, CSS? These are some free coding courses which are available on YouTube, online documentations. Here I have given 3. I wanted to give you some paid ones also, but I can't sponsor them or anything. So, I mean, it's not a sponsored webinar or anything. So you guys do your research. Fine. Shortcuts in VS Code. Guys, this link is very useful. Student benefits information over here. Microsoft Learn, which I just showed you guys, link to a GitHub repo, which I just cloned, right? My repo, which I just cloned back and I put in a chat. This is a link to start using GitHub. These are the docs, some very good commands over here. Guys, one more thing, I have added git pull also here. Fine. Git pull, I have added it, but I want you guys to first learn git push, all that and all properly. Then you come to git pull. Fine. Else it become very complex for you. This is just a description of I wrote how it works, etc. And one more thing, guys, if you guys are interested in joining the Rotaract Club for such events, I have the registration form over here also. Please make sure to check them out and join the club. Fine. And my guess we are almost at the end. I will share the Google form right now. And yeah, so the president, if you are there, if you want to speak some 2 words. Guys, just hold up. Our president wants to speak 1, 2 words. After that, I'll just send the form, that thing. Okay.
Hi everyone, I'm Rotaractor Anushka, the president of RCBIT of this Rota year. First of all, thank you Akash for all this information and knowledge you shared with us. I know it will be helpful to many present here. Also, I would like to thank all the people present here on behalf of Rotaract Club of Bangalore BIT to take out time from their busy schedules for this wonderful session. Thank you everyone. Have a great day ahead and happy retraction.
Guys, don't leave still. I'm just sharing the feedback form. You guys have to fill it for getting certificates. Also, the certificates. One advantage about the certificates, you can add it on your LinkedIn. Okay, fine. The certificates is actually very nice and kind of prestigious. I'm not going to lie. It's by Microsoft, the student community only. So Microsoft will be there over there. So just guys, just hold up, okay? Just don't leave. Just 2 minutes. Give me 2 minutes. Feedback form. Let it- shorten copy. Fine. Ha. Just hold up. Yeah. So guys, I've sent a form. Start filling it right now. It'll maximum 10 minutes. We're closing it. So fill it as fast as possible. The people only who have filled a form and attendance, we just check that both, and you'll get a certificate. The certificate is like very good. I mean, it's very, what do you say? Will be very helpful for your resume. Your name will be there on the certificate. Of course, I'll be sending it by 1 or 2 days maximum, or by the end of next Wednesday maximum. Fine. I'll be sending it. Fine. And I guess that's all for today. In the feedback form, just give your honest reviews. It'll be helpful if I'm doing another seminar someday. It's asking you to sign in. Sign in, nah? Is there a problem? I mean, even while joining this session, if I'm not wrong, you had to sign in. Signing in is just, we keep hold of your emails, all that and all. So we send you certificates. So it's exactly what's the time? It's 6:50. 7 o'clock sharp. Can't sign in. You're not able to sign in, is it? It's asking work mail. Uh, okay, guys, I'll quickly make a Google form. Just 2 minutes. I'll just make a Google form quickly and send it in the WhatsApp group, which you guys are there. Just join the WhatsApp group like right now. I'll send the WhatsApp link. My teammates will send the link for the WhatsApp in the chat right now. Just join the link now. Once again, let me just check if I can do something about it. Okay, guys, I've updated the permissions. Just try one last time, no? I guess now it must be working. If any BODs are here from Roadtrack, can you just confirm it once, please? Just put a message in the group. This webinar is over. I just want to confirm one last time, and I'll just let you guys go. Fine. Okay, let me just check the chat once. Yeah, it's working, right? So, guys, it's working. 6:51, 7:50. 7 o'clock sharp. Okay, fine. 7 to sharp. I'll be closing the form. So guys, fill it fast as soon as possible. Give your honest reviews. I had fun with you guys. I mean, it was. I hope it was a hands-on session and there was proper interaction. Now I could not enable voice chat because 90 people joining and I can't enable voice chat. So if any doubts, I'm there in the WhatsApp group. My name is Akash Uday. You can find me over there. I'll be holding a dog in my hand, so you guys can find me very easily. Fine. Just email. You can just contact me there. I'll be happy to solve your doubts. Fine, guys. It's been actually great to have you all. Have a good evening and hope you guys learned something new from my session today. Thank you, guys. You may leave now once you have filled the form. And yeah, that's all, guys. Let me just stop the recording. Uh,